Welcome back to the newsroom. So, we are still on our bike tour vacation, and we just wanted to share the next part of it with you guys. So, the last part, I think we left off in Ufa. So, it's like a small little town on an inlet in the Netherlands. If you look it up on the map, you can see where it is. So we're in Den Uva. In that hotel, we had breakfast and we left pretty much directly after breakfast. It always takes a little bit of time to pack all our stuff up and make sure that it all fits into our carrier, because if you don't pack efficiently, then it kind of gets difficult. Or in some cases, it may rub on the tire, the little bag that you have, but then you have to keep adjusting
Might
them.
happen.
Yeah. Directly after leaving, we found this random tower. I just thought, I definitely need to climb this. So I climbed it. Yeah, after that, we started riding towards Wamenhuizen. This ride was, part of it was the same ride that we did the day before, where we took like a little adventure to
the beach.
Westerland, to the beach. And then after that we veered off, started going basically south. And there were some canals. It looked a little bit different, like houses on either side, and then like farmland on the outside. Normal stuff, but like still it looked different. From a distance I saw this random tower, so we climbed it and saw a pretty nice view. It was pretty cool. And it's like little random moments like this that are always so interesting.
Yeah, because it was just like a small break, but like a nice break where we had like a good view and yeah, just enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then we got to Wamenhuizen, and the place that Lena had booked for us was on top of a restaurant. Attached to it was a brewery, so they had like, how did you phrase it? Eating, drinking, and
Sleeping.
all in one place. So we went there, had some lunch there. And there was, the parking lot was like always full with tons of bikes. I mean, if like Dutch people heard us talking about this, they'd be like, well, of course, that's what it is. But it just doesn't happen in Germany or in Canada or whatever. But it was a nice restaurant and the food was really good. So if you're ever in Wamenhuizen, we can definitely recommend this place. In between lunch and dinner, we rode around the town a little bit, explored. Wamenhuizen isn't that big, but yeah, there were some fun things to see. Found a random bike that seemed to have been like covered up in grass.
Oh, the small one.
Yeah, the tiny little bike. But yeah, just a small little, quaint little village. Oh yeah, and then found 106, so that awoke some traumatic memories from elementary school. Yeah. Room that we went to when we were being bad. We got our bikes out of the storage container that we had left them in, because the hotel had provided us with that, and set off. And that was our time in Wamenhuizen. The next leg of our journey was Wamenhuizen to Haarlem. Not New York, but Haarlem in the Netherlands. I obviously tried to take pictures of interesting stuff while I was riding. I always have the camera in my back pocket, and I just pull it out and then try and take pictures of stuff, and sometimes I miss what I'm trying to take a picture of. So it's like just like the last little bit of it, or like a blur or something like that, and it doesn't get captured. Like I said, some of the stuff we missed, but some stuff I could take pictures of, like a windmill. There was, I think, another windmill.
Yep.
Crazy stuff. Yeah. The next city that we rode through was Alkmaar. We very briefly rode through it. We basically just passed through. You know, by the time you like lock up the bikes and grab a coffee and start walking around, and like it just wasn't part of our plan.
And it was like way too early in the day to like have a break and...
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. And then we have more cool bike paths among trees. We saw a chimney, and it was definitely part of a crematorium. We saw Bistro Gingers. That one's for Leela. I wrote a thing and I can't read it. And then the next little town, we rode through the little town, and they were setting up for like a festival.
Yeah, music festival and food festival, I think.
So we stopped there. It was just basically a cafe. And we were like, oh, can we sit down? They're like, only in the front. And we were like, okay. And then we sat down. Yeah, so that was Castricum. I don't think the town was called that, as the town is called like Bakum. Anyways, it's like along our route. Cool beans. Maybe not everybody cares about every little town that we go through. But maybe some people do. Who knows? I don't know. There were some more huge bike paths. And then later on we had to take a ferry. And as we were arriving, the ferry was like leaving. So we had to wait. Then we got on. Oh, and then I almost fell off my bike. That was pretty funny too. Only a slightly bruised ego. No, but it was fine. We got off the ferry. Immediately took a wrong turn. Sometimes it's just funny because you ride by people and then they see you, and then you ride by them again, and then they see you again, and then you ride by them again. And they're just like, what do these people do? But whatever, we just took a wrong turn. And then all of a sudden, it was like faster than I expected. All of a sudden, Hanem was there, and it was really nice. The inner city. Yeah, it's just like a really nice. I like my descriptors. It was beautiful. The architecture was aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it felt like Amsterdam, but just a little bit smaller, I think.
We got to the main square, and there's like this huge church, and Nina's like, oh, that's our hotel there. It's like right on the main square. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Good job, Nina. At some point, we were like, let's go grab food. So we went to a cafe, had lunch and coffee there, and then took the bikes to Garage for Bikes, basically.
Feet installing.
What's it called?
Feet installing.
Feet installing. And brought our bikes there, and it's like 50 cents for the whole night per bike.
And like it's like a parking garage for cars, but just for bikes. Like it feels the same. You go in and there are cameras and all that stuff. So yeah.
Very safe. Yeah, so we went back to the hotel, had food there, pretty decent. And then we explored the city after dinner a little bit. It's really nice architecture and stuff like that. I feel like all my descriptors are just nice. Yeah, I've explored the town a little bit, but not that much. We've probably seen only a small portion of it.
But we saw a lot of bars.
That's right, yeah. There's like some streets that were just filled with bars and restaurants, which made for a nice atmosphere. It was pretty cool.
And with ice cream in the end of the day.
Yeah, went to the hotel. Yeah, and that was our time in Hanem.
I like the city.
That city was really nice. So the next morning we woke up, had breakfast at the hotel. Pretty standard stuff, and then set off. Oh yeah, we had to grab a bike from the bike garage. And I thought maybe there were some hidden costs. It's 50 cents overnight, but I don't know, like a flat rate of 15 euros or something like that. But it was really, like, we paid €1 for both of us. It's crazy. So yeah, we grabbed our bikes and set off, and we saw signs for Zandvoort. It's like a town with an F1 racetrack. We saw the signs, saw some more signs, and we were like, okay, at some point, pass it, like, really closely. So I thought, okay, we'll just, turn slightly off our planned route, and then if we see signs this way to Zandvoort, we would go there. But obviously that was not the case. We had ridden a few kilometers, and we had to go 10k back to get back to Zandvoort. On the way there, it was like a forest where the houses were like set back. The bike path there was like separate from the road. It was much higher from the road. So that was fun. Oh yeah, then we got to Zandvoort, and then we got to the racetrack, and I was like, I wonder like how far you can go until somebody stops you or like you're not allowed to go anymore. So I was like, okay, let's just go see like how close you can get to the track. So I started riding, and immediately this guy was like, "Excuse me?" I'm like, yeah. It's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I thought maybe we could look at the track. He's like, no, you're not allowed in here. And I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. How far am I allowed to go? Is this the line? Is this the boundary where I can go? And he's like, no, that's back there. And I'm like, oh, okay. There was like a small sign that said no entry, because we were so focused on like taking pictures of. There's like a sign that says Zandvoort, and we were taking pictures of that. Just generally focused on the fact that we had made it to the track, that we oversaw this small little sign. So we left from the track, rode along the beach, and saw the ocean for the first time in 2 days. There was like this lookout point that we tried. I think we maybe saw 5 meters of the track. It was kind of sad. So after that,
we continued our way, and it was really along the coast the whole way. So really windy.
The route that we took was, you have the coastline, and then there's some dunes, and then there's this track like in between the dunes. And so we were riding along that. There's a lot more elevation change that we had planned for, done up until that point. It's just like dunes, then small town, and then dunes, and then small town, and then dunes. Anyways, it was basically that, and at some point we stopped in one of the towns and grabbed a fish bun. What else do you eat right at the coast? Pretty good. Oh, and that was probably the best tasting Coca-Cola I've ever. Or maybe I should say soda pop. I don't know. It's not sponsored. No, but seriously, it was like, after like some hard riding with such heavy stuff, just stop and you just drink a Coke. Oh my god, it's so good. Anyways, yeah, dunes. Saw some funny artwork, which was apparently for sale as well. More dunes. Then we saw like this random dude cycling with like 3 trees in the back of his whatever bike he had. I think it was like a tricycle style with like cargo stuff in the back, but still he had like these huge trees. Yeah, and then in between the dunes there was some greenery, with some water, with like ducks and stuff. What else?
And then I think our last stop was an ice cream stop.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's like this little cafe where they had soft serve ice cream, and it was perfect for after having ridden, I don't even know, 6 hours or something. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, in total, I think.
Yeah, so we had coffee and ice cream there. Then we rode into The Hague.
Our last and final stop.
Our last and final stop, yeah. Got to our Airbnb, and now we obviously don't know what to do with ourselves because we parked our bikes and we were like, we don't have to ride today. This is weird. Yeah, oh yeah, we tried exploring the town a little bit last night, but then after a little while we were like, we're tired. We gotta go to bed. And then that was all we've managed to do up until now. And so now we're in like a small little residential area. It's pretty nice. Just hanging out, gonna look at the city a little bit more over the next couple days and then head home. So it was like a really fun bike tour. I feel like we didn't say that much about it, how we kind of just said what we did, but this way of traveling was just is really awesome. Like a lot different than stuff we've done before by train and by car and by plane and whatever. But this time it felt good to, you know, get there by yourself, by your own power. So that was really cool. And just being able to absorb more of the surrounding area that you're traveling through, that was really cool as well.
Yeah, and it felt like we've experienced so much during the day, like so many different things.
Yeah, because you think back to where you were in the morning and you're like, okay, that feels like so long ago because you've experienced, maybe it's just a couple little things, but you've experienced so much in the meantime. So anyways, that's been our little Netherlands bike tour. I hope some people found it somewhat interesting. And yeah.
That's it. Bye.
Okay, bye. Where did I go?